Hey everybody, earlier this year, I was at the ePay Resources Conference, ePayConnect 2020. They always put on a great conference. I had the chance to talk with several payments professionals, people with years, even decades in the industry, and some with only a few months or years. I spoke with people from corporations, a couple from major well-known corporations, people from credit unions, banks, both large and small, from the regulatory and rule side of the industry, and from the service providers or fintechs, or you might call it technology side. I even got a chance to interview one well-known payment celebrity, Brett King. If you don't know who that is, well, you should. This was all before the coronavirus breakout. And, well, their answers, they're still very relevant. This is a two-part series. Get ready for part 2 of 2. What was the question I asked? I asked them all one simple question. What do you think is the biggest issue in payments right now? Their answers were quite interesting and not what I would have expected in some cases. You curious to see what they had to say? Well, stay tuned.
I think the biggest challenge is that we can't really grow fast enough. The technology is evolving so quick and so fast that you really don't have an opportunity to get ahead of the game. It's a full-time job to stay current or even try to stay current with the evolving technology that's occurring.
That's a great question. What keeps me up at night, I think, is probably the more appropriate question. And I would have to tell you, security. From a corporate perspective, we're always looking to ensure that our customer information is protected and that we know who our customer is. So that's probably the first thing on my list. I'm going to tell you security, ensuring that we know as payments become more and more faceless, making sure that we know who our customer is and that we're protecting their transaction and their information.
The biggest issue in payments is that financial institutions don't grasp that consumers are already using faster payment rails outside of their financial institution, and that money is not resting with their institution any longer. It's out there and you don't know it.
So today there's a lot of issues around how to get payments where they need to be as quickly as we can get them there. Also doesn't help that we have so many disparate systems to try to connect. And when you're talking about real-time payments, fewer bridges it has to cross, the better.
The number one issue in the United States, different answer in different markets, apart from regulation, the number one issue in the US is just certainly friction. In the digital age, customers expect things to just happen in real time. They expect to go onto a website and be able to put their details in and bang, have something happen. So the concept that you need to wait for approval or you need to sign a piece of paper on a paper application form, these are concepts that just will not survive in banking. And so if you're not already removing that friction yourself, then you can bet a competitor is out there doing the work of taking your customers off your hands.
Speed. Real-time payments being, well, as of now, on the horizon and currently being implemented. Something at my institution that we're looking into is how to bring funds faster to our members.
The biggest issue, in my opinion, facing the payment industry is fraud. Fraud is everywhere and it is just getting bigger and bigger.
Real-time payments right now, that's the biggest thing that everybody's focusing on, getting that money faster to people. As a fraud analyst though, fraud's always my biggest thing.
Honestly, I think gaps in understanding between all parties involved in the payment chain. Financial institutions don't always understand the needs of their customers. Customers don't want to have to learn to be bankers, and how do we bridge that gap in communication?